Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is Sunday, May 17th. My name is Mo, and welcome to the Barca News post-match live analysis where we analyze Barcelona matches as soon as they are done. Today, we're going to be talking about Barcelona's victory over Real Betis 3-1 by a double from Rafinha and a goal by Joao Cancelo to kind of seal Barcelona's home league or home season, I should say, because this was, of course, the final home match of the 2025-2026 season. There's only one match left in the entire season, so of course, against Valencia in their stadium at Mestalla. Is that what it's called? I don't know what's going on with me. But anyways, today Barcelona take home a victory. And of course, with this victory, Barcelona are making history, or they have set a record because the club have won 19 out of 19 home matches. Yes, you heard that right. 19 out of 19 victories at home. And this is an absolute record, which only makes the season that more special because remember, we also made history, a week ago when we defeated Real Madrid and became Liga champions. The first time in history that we become La Liga champions by defeating Real Madrid, and while now making history by winning every single match at home. And this is why I say it would have been nice that we could have gotten those 100 points, because then we would have made history with that as well. But it is what it is. There's still two historical achievements that Hansi Flick's Barca has been able to accomplish during this 2025-2026 season. Now, of course, today's victory, besides making history, didn't really have any repercussions besides that because, of course, we're already La Liga champions. And in fact, we did see Real Betis give us the guard of honor as the team was entering the Spotify Camp Nou for the last time during this season. Now, another memorable day today, besides the fact that we made history winning every single home match, is, of course, the goodbye of Robert Lewandowski, because Lewandowski has officially played his final match at the Spotify Camp Nou with a Barcelona kit on. Of course, over this weekend, he announced that he was not going to be renewing his contract, that he will be leaving as a free agent during this summer transfer market, which was, of course, a pretty sad day for all of us Barcelona fans. Of course, we all enjoyed these amazing 4 seasons with the Polish striker who gave us plenty of happiness and who helped us accelerate our comeback, I guess, from the very dark period that Barcelona went through for several years, thanks to Bartomeu. Now, I do have a cool announcement, or a special announcement. I've been working all day editing the Barca News's first documentary ever. Yes, first documentary ever. And I've been wanting to dive into this kind of content creation for quite some time. I've been thinking about doing documentaries for quite some time. Finally did it. I finally pulled the plug. I recorded it yesterday. Today, I've been editing all day. My God, it is a lot of work. I don't think this is... I can see why usually documentary channels release a documentary once a week or maybe once every other week. It is a lot of work. But nonetheless, I enjoyed every second of it. And I'm pleased to announce that I will be releasing the first Barca News documentary ever. And it's in regards to, well, Robert Lewandowski. You know, like I said, I've always wanted to dive into this type of content. But since I decided to finally pull the plug, I decided, well, who better to make my documentary about than Robert Lewandowski, since he is leaving Barcelona. So be on the lookout for that documentary later tonight, if not tomorrow. I'm done with all the editing. I'm just like choosing the music now for the documentary. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, please let me know in the comment section. I'm also going to be putting a poll on the in the community tab. That way people can vote. That way people enjoy it, while I can make more of that content. So be on the lookout for that documentary. Hope you guys enjoy it. And if you do, please let me know. That way I can make some more. And if you don't, also let me know. Tell me, hey, Mo, this is garbage. Just stick to what you do already. Let me know. But I'd be very curious to see what you guys think. But anyways, let's come back to the match, because, again, today Barcelona said goodbye to a legend, Robert Lewandowski. A proper goodbye for Lewy, of course, starting today's match, playing 80-plus minutes, and Hansi Flick subbing him out so he can get his standing ovation from the Camp Nou. The entire stadium was chanting his name. They did it several times. He had to come off the bench several times to wave at the public to thank them because they were consistently chanting his name. After the match ended, there was, of course, a special tribute that the club planned for him, where he got to, say goodbye to the fans. He got to speak into the mic. They gave him kind of this Barcelona crest as a tribute. Of course, the players were all hugging him. Everybody was very emotional. We saw Lewandowski was very emotional, crying there. Even his wife was crying watching him. Of course, I imagine she's filled with pride of seeing her husband and what he's been able to accomplish. The supporters section, they had two signs thanking him, one in Catalan and one in Polish. I thought that was a pretty cool touch. So a very, very emotional ending to the match and a proper goodbye to a legend. And I'm very happy that Barcelona planned this. I'm very happy that the fans showed up and participated in this because, we always get the bad rap that we don't know how to say goodbye to our legends. And well, today we did right by Robert Lewandowski. But I got to say, watching this goodbye of Lewy, I also got to see, Piqué's goodbye. I got to see Busquets' goodbye, Jordi Alba's goodbye, right? It really makes me think how badly we have done Messi, right? Because Messi never really got this goodbye. He left under really bad circumstances, and I think we need to rectify that. I think John Laporta really, really needs to get to work and rectify that. I mean, if anyone deserves a goodbye, obviously all of our legends deserve it. But if there's anyone who truly, truly deserves it, is of course our greatest legend ever, which is Lionel Messi. So I really hope that Laporta rectifies this. I hope that Messi gets invited maybe to the Joan Gamper trophy match, a friendly match against Inter Miami. He can come, he can play, and then when the match is over, maybe he can take off his Inter Miami jersey, put on his Barca jersey, and then Barcelona can give him a proper goodbye at the Camp Nou where people can chant his name, where he can talk to the crowd into the mic. They can go around, waving at people, a proper goodbye like Messi deserves. But nonetheless, we're not here to talk about Messi. This is just something I thought about watching Lewandowski's goodbye because, of course, it was a very emotional goodbye and a very deservedly so goodbye because Lewy came to the club during an incredibly dark era, and he helped us. He helped the club restore its glory, and for that, we're always, always going to be thankful. Now, let's talk about the match itself because today Barcelona won with ease. I think they dominated the match with ease. They won the match with ease, which was pretty refreshing to see. And I say refreshing because, we're champions. We've won La Liga. The World Cup is literally 4 weeks away. So if the players hadn't showed up today, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be mad. I would have said, hey, they did their job. They won the league. Why risk injury when the World Cup is right around the corner? But to my surprise, and a really good surprise, that wasn't the case at all. The team showed up. The team played. Well, I'm not going to say, oh, they played with so much intensity. Obviously, they didn't. Why would they? But nonetheless, they did their job. They dominated the match with ease, maintained the position of the ball. They circulated the ball really well. They created chances. And, well, they scored 3 goals, 2 by Coutinho, and, of course, 1 by Joao Cancelo. One hell of a goal, by the way, the one by Cancelo. He gets the ball. He's, like, outside the box. It looks like he's going to pass it to someone. Everybody thinks he's going to pass it to someone, including Real Betis' goalkeeper. And then Cancelo sees the opportunity and buries it in the back of the net. An incredible goal by Rafinha, the first one, that free kick. We always complain that we no longer score goals from free kicks, and now today Rafinha completely fooling Real Betis' goal. He makes him go to his left, and then Rafinha buries it to the right of the goalkeeper. 2 incredible goals, of course. The second one by Rafinha was more of a mistake by Real Betis. Hector Bellerin passing it to Rafinha, and Rafinha there at the right time, at the right place, or at the right place at the right time, and then he scores. But again, pretty easy match for Barcelona, and I gotta say, I never wished for a Lewandowski goal more than today. I think that would have been the perfect goodbye for Lewy to score one final goal at the Camp Nou. After all, I don't know if you guys forgotten this, but Lewandowski is the first player to score at the new Spotify Camp Nou, right? And that will forever be etched into history, right? When the Camp Nou reopened after the remodeling, Lewandowski was the first player to score at the new Camp Nou ever in the history. So that will forever be etched into history. And it would have been nice for him to score, on his final day at the Camp Nou. That would have been cool. But it didn't happen. It's a shame. But at least he got, of course, his proper goodbye. Right now, Lewandowski has 119 goals for Barcelona. Hopefully he can make it 120 against Valencia. Only because I hate weird numbers. But anyways, Yeah, I've never wished for a Lewandowski goal more than today. But really, not much to say about the match. I do want to discuss the lineup because I saw some interesting things today. This was kind of like the match against Alaves, where I said, there's really no repercussion. We're champions, but there are things that you can conclude from it. So let's look at the lineup real quick because we saw a lot of changes from the match against Alaves. And I said this during the post-match live analysis against Alaves. I said I even though I would like to see the academy players play for the remainder of the season, I was like, I'm pretty sure Flick is going to put in most of his starters against Real Betis because it is the final home match. And of course, you don't want to end the season, even if you're already champions, with a defeat at home for that last home match, right? And that's exactly what Flick did today. He put in Juan Garcia back again instead of Chesney that we saw against Alaves. We saw Cancelo and Kunde as our two fullbacks, Gerard Martin and Eric Garcia. This time, Pau Cubarsí getting some rest. Last time, Gerard Martin got some rest. Today, Pau Cubarsí got some rest with Eric Garcia taking his place. In that double pivot, we saw Pedri and Bernal. In the attacking mid, Gabi, seeing Dani Olmo getting some rest. And then Frankie. I was going to say Frankie Lopez. Fermin Lopez on the left wing, Rafinha on the right wing in the place of Lamine, and Lewandowski, of course, starting for his final match at home. Now, what are my few conclusions that I can get from this match? Again, as a match that didn't really have any repercussions since we are champions. Cancelo, I think Cancelo needs to stay. Barcelona need to work out a deal with Al Hilal to keep him because we need him as our starter next season, especially to put pressure on Balde and have him compete. Even though I'm not gonna say I was very disappointed with Balde today, I was not. I think Balde is improving, and I think part of it is because Cancelo has taken his spot, and now he realizes that he has to work hard and perform in order to gain his spot back from Joao Cancelo. On the left, same observation as last time. Kunde needs to be a bench warmer. I'm sorry, but Kunde needs to be a bench warmer. Eric Garcia needs to take his place. Of course, today Eric was playing as a center back, so that's probably why, or maybe that's why Kunde started. But Eric Garcia needs to be our starting right back next season. Kunde needs to go to the bench, and if he wants his spot back, he needs to get his act together because today wasn't good enough. Now, of course, you might say, well, Mo, we're already champions. Why would he, go all out? Fair point, but that's the thing. He's been like that all season. This is not like the first match he's doing it, and you're like, oh, okay, fine, yeah, we're champions. Who cares? He can crawl for all I care. No, he's been like this the entire season. Not good enough. Gabi, ladies and gentlemen, I'm starting to like Gabi in that attacking midfield position. I was saying this before he got injured, but I'm seeing it again. And the reason why is because he really pairs well with Pedri. I feel like Gabi understands something very important, that Pedri is the brains of this operation, that Pedri will be the midfielder that distributes the ball around and that dictates the tempo. And Gabi, in his understanding of Pedri's role, he becomes a complement to that. He doesn't try to overshadow him, doesn't try to do the same work, or he becomes a complement. And you can, if you go back and watch the match and you watch the positioning of Gabi, the way he's always mirroring his position to, or adapting, I should say, not mirroring, adapting his positioning to what Pedri is doing, because he understands that's Pedri's job. So he has become more of, let's say, I don't know, that player that aids Pedri in what Pedri is doing. Kind of like, I'm here at your service. So if Pedri runs forward, Gabi drops back to cover his back, or the opposite, right? But I'm really liking the Gabi-Pedri combination, with Pedri in the double pivot and Gabi in the attacking mid. And it'll be interesting to see if that's going to be the starting attacking mid for next season. And besides that, of course, Rafinha, 2 goals, winning the MVP of the match, very deservedly so. Lewy, unfortunately, did not get his goal. And not much to say, but I think we're seeing some changes that we're going to need for next season, like Cancelo and Eric Garcia starting on their fullbacks. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Gabi, because I like him in that attacking mid position. But anyways, not much more to say, really. Again, not really a match where there was much on the line. We're already champions, but let alone we still took home 3 points. We still took home victory. We made history, winning 19 out of 19 matches at home. We said we gave Lewandowski a proper, deserved goodbye. And of course, we are now at 94 points, which if we win next match, we'll be at 97. And if we do earn 97, we'll become the third highest. It will be the Barca with the third most points in the history. Obviously, the first one being Tito Villanova with that 100 points. Second place, Pep Guardiola's with 99 points. And third place will be Flick with 97. Again, if we win against Valencia, which I don't see a reason why we shouldn't. Now, my question to you is, what would you like to see during this final match of the season against Valencia? Do you want to see more academy players? If so, who do you want to see? I mean, I think for me, it would be nice to see Alvaro Cortés again. It would be nice to see Tommy Marquez playing in that midfield. And oh, by the way, Bruni Bardaggi came out today again. Disappointing minutes again. I really think Rooney needs to go on loan. So he can get the minutes and develop somewhere else because, another disappointing performance. Just a reminder to people who always criticize Flick the entire season. Why doesn't Flick use Rooney? Why doesn't he? Well, this is why. I hope you've seen it now. People forget. I think that Flick sees a lot more than we do. We only see the 90 minutes of the team once a week, where Flick sees them every single day. Morning session, evening session. I mean, pretty sure he knows what he's doing at this point. But anyways, that is all. Let's do a few comments and then we'll end this. And then I'll go back to editing my documentary again. For those of you who just joined, I'm pleased to announce I will be posting Barca News' first documentary ever. I've been working on it all day, so I really hope you guys enjoying it. It's a lot of work, but it was very fun to do. And of course, it's regarding Robert Lewandowski. Tony says, I'm crying too, but this is how life goes. Sometimes you will have to make decisions you're not able to make, but you still have to make that decision. Yeah, very sad day, but of course it is the right decision. I think it is time for Lewandowski to move on. Age catches up with all of us, and legends need to know when to step away, because the last thing Lewandowski wants is to renew for another season, and then next season when he's even older and slower and he looks horrendous, and then the fans start hating him, and then everybody remembers Lewandowski for that last horrendous season as opposed to the 4 amazing years that he gave us and how he helped us rebuild the club. And Surya says, I realized Lewa could leave several months back, but can't hold my tears today. Replacing him with someone of his caliber is almost impossible. Last season, he gave us as many goals as Mbappe or Haaland. Well, it's not nearly impossible. It will be impossible, right? Because there's only one Lewandowski. And to me, Lewandowski is one of the greatest strikers in the history. So it's gonna be impossible to replace him with, someone like him. But of course, we have to find someone who can put up the numbers. Maybe not Lewy numbers, but at least 30 goals maybe per season, 40, something like that. The bank says, hello, Mo. Glad to join you live from South Africa. It's late for me, early in the morning. Bisca Barça. Bisca Barça, my friend, and thank you for joining. And Pave says, do you think Barca should buy Alberto Moreira from Villarreal? Moleiro. No, because there's no place for him, right? Moleiro is someone that Barcelona considered. But, I mean, we have a million midfielders. The last thing we need is another one. And Boya says, I think we played okay today. Gerard Martin was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, again, not much on the line, but still Barcelona dominated easily, scored easily. Oh, I forgot to mention the penalty kick. How the hell is that a penalty? I completely forgot to talk about that. Isco kicks Gabi from the back and falls as a result, and that's a penalty. I mean, what was Gabi supposed to do? Transform into a ghost? So Isco's leg can slice right through it. I don't understand. And this is the crazy part. They decided it was a penalty with the use of VAR. I mean, I get if the referee had said, okay, penalty because he saw it wrong, and then it stayed out. No. He saw it. He didn't think it was a penalty. He goes, watches it in slow-mo from all different angles, zoomed in, zoomed out, all the shebang, all that good stuff, and decides it's a penalty. I would understand this being a penalty before VAR, right? Before VAR existed, because, hey, if you're seeing the play really quick, yeah, you might think, oh, it was Gabi that tripped him. But you go back to a screen, high-definition screen with 4K, or I think there are 8K cameras, and you're watching this from all these different angles, and you still think that's a penalty kick. Ladies and gentlemen, La Liga's referees are beyond mediocre. I've said it a million times. I'm not going to say it again. I'm not going to get mad. The season's over. We're champions. We made history today. We said goodbye to Lewy. I'm just going to not go into it anymore. Kino says if we really get an 80 euro or 80 million euro, because man, if we can get a center forward for 80 euros, I'll pay for him. For Kunde, would you sell him? And if so, who would you spend the money? For 80 million, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is a no-brainer. I would definitely do that. And then, I wouldn't go crazy and bring. I think Eric Garcia can be our starting right back next season. And if you really want to bring someone, I would bring what's his face, Vanderson. And or if you really want give Xavi Espart the opportunity, then you would keep Eddie Garcia as a starter and have Xavi Espart play the smaller games. That's another option. But I wouldn't like get 80 million for Kunde and then go spend it on an 80 million euro right back, right? Because I would rather go get someone decent like Vanderson who can alternate with Eric and then, use the rest of the money towards the center forward or towards the left wing. Let's see. Barca Got Culture says, Mo, after doing my own reach on who I would want to replace Lewy, I think Osimhen would be my pick, but I know there's no money. He have a high chance conversion, 68, 69 games, 56 goals, 7 Champions League games, 10 goals. It's unfortunately they're going to want north of 100 mil, so Osimhen is not really affordable for Barcelona. So, we have to look at something that would cost a little less because, the thing is there's really no incentive for Galatasaray to sell him. Like, why would they, right? They just signed him. He's their best player. Why would they sell him if it's not for a lot of money? So that's the thing. But anyways, that is all, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I am posting today the first Barca News documentary ever. Stay on the lookout for the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Viscarsa.